Welcome back to TF Banana. Today, doing something a little bit different, jumping back 30 years, back to 1990, to check out MERC on the Sega Genesis. Why would I be checking that one out? Well, it was, and still remains, one of my favorite franchises, actually known as Commandos. MERC was the one that first jumped out to me when I was actually home. I believe I had just gotten my tonsils out. And so I was just stuck at home and needed something to play, and Pops hooked me up with this brand new title and didn't know anything about it, and man was I hooked. I can remember spending countless hours just running through this, memorizing enemy patterns, studying level layouts. So like I said, here we are, 30 years in the past. But is this what I'm going to be playing? No, it's not. In fact, I'm actually going to switch things up a little bit. Wanted to go back, because this is the one that I could find, and I wanted to go back to show you where it started for me, but where it currently is, or, well, I can't say current, where it most recently was on Xbox 360. Let me finish off this guy for you real quick. Well, you know, it finished me off. Give me a break, it's been 30 years. But like I said, let's flash forward now from 30 years to just a mere 10 years ago and take it Commandos 3 Wolf on the Battlefield, the spiritual sequel to what we were just witnessing. And look at that jump, the 20-year jump between the Sega Genesis and the Xbox 360 version, released back in 2010 as part of, wait for it, that wonderful period of time we had known as the Xbox Live Arcade. Big changes here, going from just a D-pad and 3 face buttons, or if you were super cool, the 6 button. We've now gone and turned this into a twin-stick shooter, which, let's just be honest, felt just so natural as far as transitions go. It made perfect sense for this style of game. Now, before this one on the 360, you had quite the hefty amount of twin-stick shooters, and you still do. I don't want to go out and say that this is an easy genre to do, but it seems that twin-stick is easy to fall back on for a lot of indie developers out there. But you can see when you've got something with a strong pedigree and history, you can turn a twin-stick shooter into something that, quite literally, makes you relive your childhood the way that you envisioned it. So, again, the reason that I went back and showed MERC on the Sega Genesis was to show, it didn't age well. I think it looks fine. I love the added effect of when you light somebody up with the flamethrower. I think that's even better than what it is now on this one on the 360. But I wanted it to prove a point. I've been having a lot of conversations with people on Twitter as well as through Skype conversations, because you gotta practice that social distancing, right? Hashtag 6 feet. I don't know if I made that one or not. But this really came up when we were talking about Link's Awakening, and that playing that again on the Switch, it's beautiful, it's a sight to behold, but what it really meant to me was a lot of those games do not age well just because of limitations of the system hardware and everything. So when you allow 30 years to pass and then somebody gets a crack at it again and reimagines it or completely overhauls it, what you have, in my opinion, is something that looks the way that your mind's eye remembers it. So there are no more rose-colored glasses when you're looking at it. So when I look at MERC, the Sega Genesis or Mega Drive, whatever you want to call it, and then I jump forward 20 years after that and play Wolf on the Battlefield like we're watching right now, it is how I remember MERC playing for me when I was a kid. So seeing this in its entirety again and playing through this again, I had the same feelings that I wish I would have had going back and playing the Sega Genesis one. Let's just be honest, it's archaic now, it controls garbage. But it's a beautiful lesson to take hold of during this time. That, you know, just because something is older and didn't necessarily age well, it can still be reimagined, and that's not always going to be a bad thing. You know, there's a lot of people that gripe about all these HD remakes, remasters, and we can use Panzer Dragoon as the most recent one. You know, I had a wonderful conversation with my wife about that one, showing her some of the graphical comparisons from the Saturn versus what it looks like on the Switch now. And what it looks like on the Switch now is what I remember playing when I was a kid. But we all know that that's not what I played as a kid, and when you look at it, it's ugly. It's definitely serviceable. It's a matter of capturing your mind and capturing your imagination. And that's what it's about. It's not about, oh, it being bigger, badder, and better. Sometimes it's just capturing that feeling. And I thought Capcom nailed it on this one. Now, to be honest, they served as just a publisher for this one. This one was actually developed by Backbone Entertainment, and I don't have a lot of information on them. I haven't really kept up with them. Nothing of note that I can think of on the call. That was a Backbone exclusive. I remember X, Y, and Z. I don't remember them, but I do remember this one. Beautiful, beautiful explosions everywhere. If you're one that does enjoy the twin-stick shooters, even from this era, there's another franchise worth checking out. That was the Assault Heroes. And believe it or not, that one was actually done by Sierra, who, oddly enough, all my fondest memories from Sierra were the adventure games. I mean, your Police Quest, King's Quest, Space Quest, Leisure Suit Larry. Just lots and lots of just classic adventure games, but they had the Assault Hero series, so I just took that one to the face, which was a twin-stick shooter. The difference between that and this, honestly, coat of paint and, for the most part, vehicles. I want to say that you could get out of your vehicle if it was destroyed at some point in Assault Heroes, but you didn't want to be out of your vehicle. Severely underpowered here. Just working with this green thing. I don't remember what it's called. I guess that's not necessarily important. I just know that this one gives me the most spread. And it would be damaged. Your typical blue bullets, which carried over from the 16-bit time, aren't quite as powerful, but you can definitely stay a lot more focused with your shot, which is important. The flamethrower is okay in this one, definitely not as cool as it was back in the 16-bit days. The rocket launcher that's money in this one. It's slow as all get out, but if you can get that thing firing just right, you will be money. Use this little break right here as I load up before this boss fight to let you know that I would love if you would subscribe. Click your little bell icon so you get notifications if we got new things going out. Definitely follow me over on Twitter at @TheFilthyBanana. You can also check out my Facebook page that I've just recently set up, TF Banana. I'll leave the links in the description to all of those things so you can reach out and then get a back and forth, talk about some memories that you have from your gaming past. Maybe we got some shared ones. Make a video on them. Always looking for new ideas. Whether it's over here on my personal channel, whether it's going to be over with Thunder Day, who knows? I could be all over the place. Let's just link in with me, and well, look at that. I just said link. I don't want you to follow me. I don't need that link. Again, crash. Had a brain fart for a second. Yeah, man, as long as you've got a connection to me somehow on one of those socials, you'll always know where my latest and newest things will be, or any of my crazy ideas. I like to bounce all over the place. That's a curse and a gift, I guess. I can stay focused, or I can just randomly bounce all over. Depends on how you get me. But right now, the quarantine and not being able to run around, it's definitely giving me some gaming ADD. I'm jumping all over the place. About to find out if that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing. Prison here, getting these prisoners out. Doesn't get any more old school arcade than that, right? Shoot this cage. Why? Because there's a prisoner in it. Shoot this box. Why? Because it's destructible and it might have a medal in it. Definitely a lifelong video game fan, but one of the things that I want to say irks me, that there's a huge hole that a lot of the AAA publishers have left. They're trying to push everything to be bigger, badder, and better, and more realistic, and everybody is losing focus and just simple fun. And I think that's why you've seen such an explosion out of the indie scenes. They get it. They may not have the resources of the big companies, but they get what it is that gaming was and what initially brought all of us into it. It was simplicity and it was fun. It's great to have systems on systems on systems, but it's also fun just to sit down, get a controller in your hand, figure out the buttons after a little bit, and then just go have fun. Get frustrated, whatever, move on. Move on to something else. So many people that are quick to anger because the game's too hard, or it doesn't do this, or oh, it had screen tearing. Get over yourself. And that's coming from me. Just get over yourself. If that's how you're gonna legit live your life with games, you picked the wrong hobby. You absolutely did. You gotta find what works for you and just roll with that. Don't let anybody stand in your way. Don't let anybody tell you any different. The game's out there and everybody absolutely hates it, but you for some reason find fun in it. That's awesome. That's fantastic. I had a great conversation with my daughter about that today. Actually just talking about lyrics and songwriting when we were picking up some groceries. We did not stay home, but we stayed 6 feet away from people. But just explaining to her, that listening to a lot of music part of my life as well, that I've always gravitated to tremendous songwriters. And I say tremendous, that's me putting that out there and putting it up and boosting it up. I'm sure I listen to some garbage songwriters, but the content of their material is what sticks out. Having a full conversation with my daughter about the meaning behind the song and what was going on during that time. It's the same thing with video games. There are some games that they go out on that limb and tackle subjects that some people just don't want to deal with. And it's uncomfortable, and that's great. But at the end of the day, you just gotta make sure that you're still able to escape and have fun. Because if you're not doing any of those things, then why are you gaming? If it's become a job to the point that you hate it, then walk away. If it's your livelihood, it shouldn't be. And that goes for even whatever your regular day jobs are. If it doesn't fulfill you, you're wasting your time. And there's no amount of money in this world that will buy you time. So, deep musings from one TF Banana for you for today. Let's get back to the battlefield, I guess, now that I'm off on that tangent. still controls like a dream. You know, going back to one of those complaints that I was having earlier about people griping about things like screen pairs or it gets a little blocky here, the resolution's down, this, that, and the other. There are little quirks in this game too, like if you're too close to a building that can be destroyed and you're shooting it, and all of a sudden it doesn't take any damage because you're too close. Guess what you do? You adjust. Just like in life, you adjust. You know, there's the whole make lemonade out of lemons, make chicken salad out of chicken shit. Like that's what you have to do. Always find some positivity, even when you're trapped next to a rock. Blast your way out. Speed of the process. Like I said earlier, definitely not the most powerful weapon in the game. It gives me a great amount of coverage. Even off of that hard for a minute. Without fail, anytime there's a full heart refill, that means something else is coming. And I guess I should have waited an extra second, right? For this little mini tank. Time for some rocket action. This one is fantastic in co-op, by the way. You can play this one with up to 2 other players. Wolf, Coyote, I don't remember what the other one was. Fox. Wolf, Coyote, and Fox. So you got the main character, who is obviously from the original. And then Coyote, who's a knockoff John Rambo, red with the bandana included, and Fox joins the crew as the only female. She is quick as hell. Her end crash is it's still an explosion, but the cutaway for it is her just throwing a bunch of knives. It's pretty cool looking. I had to try off my skills and just use the same character straight through so you can see his evolution. See, right there. I could complain that I don't have a melee button. I wish I had a melee button there. I got over it. And I finished another mission. Imagine that. Heroes from Sierra is also on the Xbox 360. Both of them. I want to say the original one was one of the very... it was very early in the Xbox 360's life. But imagine playing like I just was with the vehicle. Just smaller, about the size of my Sprite right now. With much better fluid controls as far as driving that. Brain drives an absolute 10. The controls in that have not aged well. But they used to guess the job done. Squeeze through. Enlist the help of one of my schmuck buddies. Crank this thing up on the difficulty and see if he'll come join in. There's bullet hell skills to be tested, because let's be honest, I suck. I'm curious to run this one. Maybe save that for after the quarantine. Do it in person. Maybe a face reveal better. Who knows? About this, you get 100 subscribers out of this video, which won't happen. I'll do a face reveal on the next one. I won't even wait for doing a dual stream. Focus fire. Let's go. Let's get back off this one. Anybody that's out there, let me know some other good twin stick shooters. I've kept up with some decent ones that have been coming out recently. Definitely like the implementation of the road-like elements in some of them. And if you want to consider finding a Isaac a true twin stick shooter, I was thinking more like the Gungeon series. Something I may have missed. Big blind spot that I have is the PS4. I was an early adopter of it when I was overseas, but again found myself just gravitating back to spending my time on the Xbox and on my Nintendo Switch, and I've now found my way back to PC gaming. So I've got a big gap, I'd say covering the last 4 years. With anything that's exclusive on Sony's platform. Maybe I'll make the leap and jump out and get another one. I've got time right now. And I want to get more content out. Rockets. It's the smartest thing I've ever done. Sure you'll have your anyone out there. How come the rockets aren't setting off the mines? That's not realistic. getting shot in the face 15 times, but suspend your belief wherever you need, right? With this rock, it's not quick fire. Love wood, but that's part of the balancing. So I have this thing on rapid fire. Corridors like that. Don't know. Don't know if it's this section or the next one. One of them. Some of these things start moving once you take them out. I think it might be the next one. Out of my way. That's one way to do it. And like I said, there's the movement. Down to my last life. What can we do with this? Let's hear it for the originality. Red and gray tank. fallen things that are leftovers from a murder. Do not hold up a lot of faith to make it through the entire next level with no lives. We'll have to find out. Oh. I remember this level and I'm not happy. They've got these enemies that are gonna pop up out of the water. These enemies that are going to pop up out of the water that are just annoying. Jumping up on it. Just annoying enemies. Even saying it and griping about that out loud, it's kind of, they just pop up out of the water and are there. How is that any different than enemy randomly running at you from off screen? It's the same thing. I'm complaining about something that there's no point, see? You guys have been therapeutic for me. I've now gotten over my frustration with this level. There's really no difference. It's amazing what communication can do for people. Perhaps we'll all learn how to do a lot more of that now that we've got our stay-at-home orders and keep 6 feet. All that wonderful. Wait for it. Hashtag social distancing thing. Still not quite as grand as the 16-bit incineration, but I'll take it, especially since they're on fire in the water. God, I love classic arcade games. Just do that, just do it. This is not looking good. Some to the left. Can I get there? Run! Wrong weapon. On the bridge. We're gonna make it. How much further? Looks like this is where we're gonna end up having to wrap things up. And this has been the TF Banana, the Filthy Banana, whatever you want to call me. Do remember to like, share, follow, subscribe, all that stuff. But until next time, I will check you out, and you need to check out Wolf on the Battlefield on the Xbox 360.